the President of the United States.
Well, thank you, everybody on Phoenix and in Phoenix. We appreciate it. And Arizona has been a special place to me. As you know, we had a great victory there. It really cemented our tremendous victory from 4 years ago. And no administration has done so much. They say it, and we say it loudly and clearly. But when you add it all up with the tax cuts and the regulation cuts and all of the things we've done for our military and our vets and all of the incredible things, no administration has done so much. I appreciate so many people being on the line. I hear there's a big lot of people on the line, and I want to start by thanking everybody for the outpouring of prayers and well wishes that we had over the past week for the First Lady and myself. We are profoundly grateful. I'm fully recovered, and First Lady's doing great, and I would say fully recovered or just about fully recovered, but we are fully recovered, and I am, and we are working very, very hard to do what we're doing and to keep it all going. Again, Arizona is a special state. What we've done for your border is incredible with the wall. You know, the wall is up to now 380 miles, and much of it in Arizona. And it's stopping very bad people from coming into your state. And I want to appreciate and want to tell you have a great governor, terrific governor, and we work together very closely along with a lot of other terrific people who are all on this call. I'm going to introduce them in a second. But I just want to thank so many people for being on the call. And I want to just tell you, get out and vote. You can early vote today in your state, or you can request your absentee ballot today. But get out and vote. The Democrat Party has been completely taken over by socialists and Marxists and far-left extremists. They'll ruin your state. They'll have people pouring into your state. And we've stopped it, and we've stopped it cold. And what we've done for drugs and stopping the drugs from pouring in through your border is incredible. The wall has been incredible. It's exactly what Border Patrol wanted. We built it to the highest specification. But these people that we're fighting, it just has to be stopped. This is the most important election in the history of our country. On November 3rd, Arizona seniors will decide whether America remains the greatest nation in the history of the world. What we've done for seniors, nobody's ever done for seniors. And you have to understand, I'm a senior. It's one of those things. I'm a senior, too. Or whether we surrender our country to an angry mob of anarchists and rioters and flag burners. So we have to be very, very careful. We're never going to lose our country. Our country will never become a socialist country. We're never going to allow them to have socialist medicine. And that's what they want to do. They want to socialize medicine, which means you'll just go to hospitals all the time and stand in line for 5 weeks. After refusing to condemn the far-left rioters for months, Joe Biden now says that he just doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to discuss it. He doesn't want to discuss law and order. You saw it at the debate the other day. He refused to talk about law and order, refused to say anything about it. He doesn't have any that we know of, any police groups that are supporting him. I asked him, I said, name one group, and he was saved by the anchor, Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace saved him a number of times where we said, how about just name one law enforcement group that defends you or supports you, and he couldn't do it. But to defend our Constitution, I proudly nominated also Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the United States Supreme Court, a great intellect, a great person. One of the top law professors in the country said the greatest student he's ever had. She was. In just 3.5 years, we've secured America's borders, rebuilt the awesome power of the U.S. military, obliterated the ISIS caliphate, fixed our disastrous trade deals. We got the USMCA, which nobody thought was even possible, got rid of the horrible NAFTA deal, and now it's just kicking in USMCA, and it's doing phenomenally well for Arizona. Joe Biden will deliver a crippling shutdown, and I don't know if you just heard, just hours ago, the World Health Organization came out, and he said they said that Trump was right, that these shutdowns are destroying states. You had a governor that did it just right, to be honest with you. He did a great job with it. But you have states that are shut down, completely shut down, and frankly, I really think it's politics. They'll open up after the election's over, but it's disgraceful what some of the Democrat governor and radical left governors are doing, and it's really even more disgraceful what they're doing on crime. And every place we have a problem, is run by a radical left Democrat. And when we offer them help, because we could solve those crime problems in literally a half an hour, they'd be over. They don't want the help. They choose not to take it. But that's a battle that we have won and are winning very big. It's called law and order. And to fight the China virus, we launched the largest national mobilization since World War II. Our early aggressive action saved millions of lives. We saved at least 2 million lives in the way we fought it. If you remember, originally it was going to be 2.2 million people, and one life is too many. But now what we have is the vaccines, and we have the therapeutics, and in my opinion, we have the cure, the antibodies, and we have the cure. And I took it, and I got better very quickly, and I just think that hopefully I would have done it anyway, but, large percentage do, very, very large percentage. But, in fact, at some groups it's 99.9%. But, I can't tell you that for sure. I know one thing. I took something that we had come up with over the last 6 months, and it was incredible what happened. So I think we're up to over 90% now in terms of getting better. 90% mortality rate. It's been incredible. From the very beginning, my administration made it a top priority to protect our nation's seniors, and we ship personal protective equipment, over 5 million rapid testing kits all over the country. And we very much had a really very important relationship with your state, with Arizona, because Arizona was, they've done really a good job. We've shipped billions of dollars worth of equipment and things that you would have never had, including ventilators. But now with what's happening with the vaccines and what's happening with all of that you're going to be seeing in a matter of weeks, and with all of the therapeutics and cures, because as far as I'm concerned, what I took was a cure. We pioneered life-saving therapies, reducing that fatality rate to approximately, I think it's probably around 90%, an astounding achievement in a very short period of time. The FDA is working to make the antibody cocktail I received, and it's exactly, I said, what I received, I want everybody to get. And we're going to make it free, and it's going to be starting to ship very, very quickly. We have an emergency use authorization. So the emergency use authorization has been put into the works, and I think we'll have it approved very, very quickly, and that will be shipped to hospitals all over the country and beyond hospitals. Through the Operation Warp Speed, we'll develop and distribute safe and effective vaccine. Now, the vaccines many companies have them, and we're going through a final process. We're in final phases of approval, and they'll be safe and totally effective. Great companies, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer, they're all ready to go. Under my leadership, we'll end the pandemic and quickly return to record prosperity. We're on the verge of having the greatest year we've ever had. We're going to have a tremendous third quarter, which will be good because the numbers will be announced just before the election, so you'll at least be able to see it. Unlike Biden, where he doesn't want to talk about the Supreme Court and loading up the Supreme Court with radical left judges. He doesn't want to talk about it. We do talk about it. We talk about results, and the results of the third quarter will be in just before the election. It'll be in by probably November 1st. We've built the greatest economy in history and in the history of the world, and now we're doing it again. We got waylaid by China. They should have never let that happen. They're going to pay a big price. But we got waylaid. We got hit by China with this horrible disease, and people died. And now we're coming out, and you'll see we're rounding the turn. And we added a historic 11.4 million jobs in the last 4.5 months. That's a record. We've never done that, anything even close to that before. So we're coming back very, very fast. Arizona had the best year they've ever had last year. The coming year will be the best year you've ever had. All signs point to it. But if Biden wins, he'll kill the recovery, impose a $4 trillion tax hike, which is ridiculous, abolish American energy, destroy the suburbs by abolishing single-family zoning and putting low-income housing right next to you, and demolish Social Security and Medicare. He'll demolish it, and that's going to happen with the Green New Deal and all the other crazy things that they're talking about. For years, Biden tried to cut Social Security and Medicare, and you know that. He said, quote, when I argued that we should freeze federal spending, he meant Social Security. He meant Medicare. That's what he said. Now Biden is pledging to give federal health care to illegal aliens, which means that millions of people will pour into our country because you're giving them all this incentive to come in, decimating Medicare, ruining your Medicare. His plans are just to close the country down. It's the craziest thing anybody's ever heard. But he doesn't control it. He's controlled by the radical left. He's not strong enough to control it. He's controlled totally by the radical left. So while I'm president, no one will lay a hand on your Medicare or your Social Security. I said that 4 years ago, if you remember, and everyone said, oh, he's going to do something with Social Security. Well, I did. I protected it, and I saved it. And I also protected your Second Amendment because he's going to get rid of your Second Amendment, and that would be a horror show. But they're going to totally get rid of your Second Amendment. They're going to take guns away. So they want to defund your police. They want to stop paying your police what they should be getting. Every law enforcement agency almost in the country has endorsed me. Nobody knows of any that have endorsed him. He couldn't name one in the debate the other night. I said, name one. He couldn't. I said, say the words law enforcement. He couldn't say them. He wouldn't say them. And I said, that's not good. That's not good. That's not fair to our country. So I want to thank some of our great Arizona Republicans who are fighting for our country and our great state of Arizona. Governor Doug Ducey has been so helpful to me, and I appreciate it. They're all on the call. Senator Martha McSally, who's terrific, who's really doing well. It's a tight race. We got to get out and vote for her, but she's really doing well. She's a good person, great fighter, a great fighter pilot. Incredible. I looked at her record. She's incredible. So Senator Martha McSally, get out and vote for her. Representatives Debbie Lesko, Andy Biggs, David Schweikert, and Paul Gosar. These are incredible people. These are warriors. They fought with the impeachment hoax. They didn't waver a bit. That was the greatest hoax ever perpetrated. And by the way, we caught them cold on spying on the campaign and everything else, and you'll see what's going to happen there. We've spent the last 4 years reversing the damage that Biden and his group inflicted over the last long period of time on NAFTA, TPP, the China entry into the World Trade Organization, all disastrous deals. But after years of rebuilding other nations, we're finally rebuilding our nation. It's called America First. We're putting our country first. And by the way, we're doing great in the polls. We're leading in Arizona. We're leading in Florida. We're leading, we think, in Pennsylvania. We're leading in North Carolina. We're leading all over the place, more so than even 4 years ago. But you got to get out and vote. You got to get out because we can't take a chance on socialists taking over our country. My first week in office, I withdrew from the horrible Trans-Pacific Partnership. Would have ruined our manufacturing businesses in our country and our automobile businesses. I ended the NAFTA nightmare and signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement into law. Everyone said that would be impossible. And I made deals with China and everyone else. China's paid us billions of dollars of taxes that, frankly, I gave to our farmers and others and gave the rest of it into the U.S. Treasury. They never paid us 10 cents until I came along. And if a Biden got elected, China would own us. You know, we were surpassing China. We were going up at a level that nobody thought was possible. For those of you that study this, China was always going to overtake us in 2019. They are big, and they're strong, and they're smart. They were going to overtake us in 2019. That's been going on for 10 years. 2019, well, in 2019, we were surpassing them at a level that nobody's ever seen before. We were going way, way better than them, stronger than them. We got hit by the China plague, and now we're doing even more so because next year will be better than even last year. And last year was the best year that your state has ever had, that Arizona's ever had. I implemented a most favored nations clause for the United States and on drugs, on prescription drugs, and your drugs are going to be coming down 50, 60, 70, 80%. I wouldn't say I've endeared myself to Big Pharma, but that's okay. They don't do anything for me, and I don't want to do anything if I want to do what's right for the people. They are the most powerful lobby there is by far, and they're not happy, but that's okay. When you see a commercial against Trump from the Big Pharma, just remember your drug prices are coming down at a level like nobody's ever seen before. And we legalized the importation of prescription drugs from Canada because they're approximately half price. So until the big one, the favored nations, kicks in, that'll be a fantastic thing. Thing is, I mean, what we've done for drug pricing, first time in 51 years that drug pricing has come down, but now it's coming down at levels that nobody's ever seen before, because whatever underfavored nations, whatever the nation that pays the lowest, that's the price we pay. Nobody ever thought. We pay, as an example, many, many times more than other countries like Germany and like others. They may pay 10 cents a pill and we'll pay $2 a pill, and worse than that. And we're now paying the lower price. We're getting all lower prices. We're cutting out the middlemen, and I have not become popular with the drug companies, not even a little bit. We've achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, and we're finishing the wall. It'll be finished very shortly. We're up to 380 miles of wall, and it's exactly what border security wanted. That's why in Arizona I think they like me, because I said I was going to do the wall, and we did the wall, and it's had a tremendous impact. And it's the wall that Border Patrol wanted. It's the wall that all of the law enforcement wanted. It's the real deal. It goes deep and it goes high. We invested $2.5 trillion in U.S. military and launched the first new branch of the United States Armed Forces in over 75 years. It's called the Space Force, and we passed VA choice and VA accountability. Our equipment is the best in the world. Whether it's tanks or missiles or rockets, or we had to fix our nuclear and hope to God we never have to use it. But we are the envy of the world right now in terms of military equipment, all made in the USA, everything made in the USA. We killed the founder and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, and we took out the world's #1 terrorist, Soleimani. Soleimani is dead. Killed many people, many American soldiers. Soleimani is dead. We withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. They gave $150 billion for nothing. And I kept my promise, recognized the true capital of Israel, and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Every president for decades said they were going to do that. None of them did it. I did it. It's all done. And not only did I do it, I built the embassy itself and built it for a tiny fraction of what it was supposed to cost. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. That was 52 years in the making. Nobody could get it done. I got it done. I recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. A big deal. 52 years they worked on that. They couldn't get it done. And instead of endless wars, we're now forging peace in the Middle East without bloodshed. We have, as you know, a historic deal. In fact, we were nominated for the Nobel Prize for the deal. A lot of other countries are coming into it right now. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. We did it a different way than the previous 50 years worth of people that had no clue what they were doing. But in 47 months, I've done more than Joe Biden did in 47 years. He's pushed the most far-left platform in the history of our country. He terminated our travel bans on jihadist regions, which I got approved through the United States Supreme Court. And he wants to increase refugee admissions by 700%. That's the deal he made with Bernie Sanders and AOC plus 3, etc. 700% an increase, opening the floodgates to radical Islamic terrorism. He also wants to ban school choice and charter schools, which are, just so important for the future of our country. In the second term, I'll provide school choice to every parent in America. A vote for a Republican is a vote for safe communities, great job, a limitless future. It's the American dream. And just in concluding, and I appreciate all your time, over the next 4 years, we'll make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we'll ended a lot of it already, our reliance on China. We'll hire more police, increase penalties for assault on law enforcement, and we'll ban deadly sanctuary cities. We'll strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens, and we'll keep America out of the ridiculous, endless wars. You know, the soldiers are coming back now from Afghanistan, from Iraq, from Syria, except we're keeping the oil. Left some behind to keep the oil. I guess nobody could be too upset with that. We'll maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we'll just ensure peace through strength. We will have peace through strength. And again, nobody's ever built a military like I've been able to build in the last 3.5 years. The best of everything. The best. No nation can even believe what we've been able to do. And when I took over, you remember the statement, Sir, we have no ammunition. That's where we were. Well, now we have so much ammunition like we've never had. It's called Ammunition Plus. We'll end surprise medical building. No more medical surprises. Surprise medical building has been a disaster for our people, especially for our senior citizens. Require price transparency, which I've already signed into law, and it kicks in on January 1st, and further reduce health insurance premiums and the cost of prescription drugs. We'll strongly protect Medicare and Social Security, which they'll destroy because of the Green New Deal and the craziness of what they're doing. Under the Green New Deal, they'll have to spend $100 trillion. That's more money than we'll make in 100 years. Think of it, $100 trillion. That's more money than we'll make in 100 years if things went perfectly for our country. It's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing I've ever. And I used to think they were kidding. They're not kidding. They're crazy. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. And we're doing that. And NASA now is the number one space facility anywhere in the world, and it was dead when I took it over. It was closed up. It's jobs all over the place. We'll teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. We'll live by the timeless words of our national motto, which they'd like to change, "In God we trust." As you know, they took the words God out of their Pledge of Allegiance, and during their you would call that, I guess, their convention, their Democrat National Convention, they took the word God out, and we're not doing that. That I can say. We're keeping "In God we trust" for the years. And for many years, you had a president and a vice president who apologized for America. Now you have a president and a vice president. Mike Pence did great the other night. It just showed you what we're up against with these people who's standing up for America, standing up for Arizona. So get your friends and get everybody out. You got to get out and vote. We got to win Arizona big. A lot of forces against us. You have the fake news and so many forces, but in the end, they know we're right, and they also know we're going to win. And I just appreciate Arizona so much. We won it. We won it strongly. We won it powerfully last time, and we're going to win it again. It's been a great state. It's been a great state for me, and it's a state that I care a lot about. I care about all states, but I care a lot about it because I saw what was happening with illegal immigrants pouring into your state. They came right through the border, and they don't do it anymore because of the wall, which is almost finished. So I just want to thank you all. Get out and vote. It's so important. Arizona, we win Arizona, we win the election, and we appreciate it very much. And I'll never let you down. I'll never let the people of this country down. I'll never let the people of Arizona down. Thank you all very much. I'm sorry to take up so much of your time, but there's nothing more important than getting out to vote. Thank you all very much. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the event has ended. If you'd like to support the president to make America great again, press 1 now to let him know he can count on your support. The liberal media is a 24-hour attack dog for the socialist working to defeat the president. If he can count on you to donate just a few dollars to help get the truth to the American people, press 2 now. The silent majority needs to speak up on Election Day. Join our team now as a Trump team leader by pressing 3 to help get our message out to your neighbors. Finally, the president needs everyone on this call to text Trump to 88022. Thank you, and God bless America.